Hi, Michael here, back with the second tutorial. And this time around I will be talking about how to get your first quest, what you can do in the settlements and overland travel. But before we do that, I would like to introduce the party that we will be using throughout these tutorials. And if you watched the first tutorial, you know that we created a human wizard. And he has since then been named Ribius. And he's armed with a staff. He's got 2 torches. He's got some old rags that he can use as bandages. He's got a leather vest. And he had the background poverty, which means that he will be very careful with his coins and that he would like to gather some coins for his family, which lives in Whiteport. And he's got 3 spells. He's got Slip, Flare and Light Healing. And the standee that we'll be using is this one, the Red Wizard. Then we've created some characters off camera, the first one being Bolgrim. He's a dwarven warrior priest. He's armed with a battle hammer, he's got a padded jacket, he's got some rations, and his background story is that he's really bad-tempered, which is a good thing for his sanity, but on the other hand, it's pretty bad for the party morale. And he's got 2 prayers. He's got Power of the Gods, and if this prayer is in action or active, he will help Ribius by giving him a bonus of +10 to his arcane arts. And then we have Matthias Ward, which will give Bolgrim 1 hit point at the start of each activation during a battle. So it's like a light healing. And for him we're using this one. Then we have Galithor the Elven Rogue. He's armed with a rapier. He's got a torch, lockpicks and an old rope. And also a padded jacket. Now his background story is revenge, and without going into much detail, he hates bandits and brigands, and every time he lands, or for every 5th killing blow he lands on a bandit or brigand, he will gain a further 250 XP. And he's got a set of fishing gear as well. Oh, and the character we'll be using for him is this guy here. And last but not least, we've got Milray. She's a human alchemist. She's armed with a short sword. She's got alchemist tools, potion of health, firebomb, cure poison, and a leather vest. And she too has got the poverty background, and she's from Coalfell. She's got a recipe for a weak cure disease potion, and she's got a bunch of ingredients and parts that she can use to make more potions. All right. Once you've created your party, you should go into the rulebook on page 52. You'll find a table there where you can randomize where your party's career will start. So in this case we rolled 7, which is Freyfell. So that's where this party will start. Now the recommendation is then that you play the First Blood quest. I've already made a video on that one, so we won't be playing that one. And then the second recommendation is that you go for the Spring Cleaning quest, which is the first quest of the Rising Dead campaign. I won't be playing that one either. Instead we will go for a random quest. So Freyfell it is. Let's see where Freyfell is. If we take a look at the map, we can see that we can find the Freyfell in the upper left quadrant of the map. And this is to get some perspective of where Freyfell is situated on the world map. Once you enter a settlement, you need to see if there is a specific settlement event that happens, and this is done by rolling a d12, and depending on which settlement you are in, there is the chance for an event to actually occur is different. Next up, you can decide what kind of actions you want to do while in the settlement. There is a wide variety of different things you can do, and everything you do will take a different amount of time, but most of the actions will only take one activity point. And each hero can spend one activity point per day, so you can do one of these actions per day. Some of them, like learning a spell for instance, will take 3 activity points, which is basically equal to 3 days then. The heroes can all do different things, and depending on what they feel like doing. So one might go to repair some equipment, while some might go to buy some ingredients. When the day is over, the heroes will stay at the inn, and if they can't afford staying at the inn, they will be sleeping in the stables, and then they will be kicked out from the settlement the day after. And each settlement is slightly different. So in this case, we're in Freyfell. We can see that the available services here is, there is an arena, so you can go arena fighting. There is a blacksmith, there's a general store, there is an inn. And the inn will cost you 25 coins per night, per party. And the general store has an equipment availability +1 and a price -10%. So basically it's easier to find general equipment in this city, and it will also be to a better price than normal. When it comes to quests, almost all quests are available in all settlements. The party may reject 2 quests in a village and 3 quests in Silver City before they must move on to another settlement to find a new quest. When randomizing the quests, you use the quest book 2. On the first page, there is a table. First, you roll a d6 to decide which one of these columns you use, and then you roll a d20 or d12 respectively. I won't be rolling on this this time. Instead, I've decided already that we will be playing the Lost Prayer quest on page 55. So you then go to page 55 and you read the quest location, and in this case it says random. You then go back to this table here, and we had Freyfell. It says quest dice 1d6 and the color is pink. So what we do then is that we roll a d6, 1, and we then bring back the map and we look for pink 1, and it's situated over here. So then we know that the quest, the Lost Prayer, will take place in this place, so we'll need to travel all the way here. One thing that we need to do is that we need to stay at the inn, because all quests always starts in the morning. Now our party had 115 coins in total, and staying at the inn was 25 coins. So that would leave us with 90 coins. Now when we travel the map, we will be in need of rations, food, and I know for a fact that it's 5 days travel to the quest site and 5 days back. And one of our party members already have 5 rations, but we need to buy some more. So we will go to the general store. Rations are 5 coins normally, and the availability is 5. So in order to buy rations, we would have to roll 5 or lower on a d6. But if you remember, in Freyfell, equipment was at +1 in availability, so it would be a 6 here. So rations are always available. I'm thinking that we will buy 6 rations. That will be 30 coins normally, but with a 10% discount, that would be 27. And we'll give them to Galithor. I'm thinking that by buying 6 instead of 5, we will have some spares if something would happen along the way. And finally, we'll take a look at the actual traveling. Now, the real token supposed to be used in this was not supplied in the proof copy, so I will be using this one as a stand-in. And you place the token anywhere within the city graphics. And when you move on the map, you pay movement points based on the hex that you are entering. A party traveling on foot will have 3 movement points, and a party traveling by horse will have 6 movement points. Entering a road hex will cost you 1 movement point, and entering an off-road hex will cost you 1.5 movement points. So if you move off-road, it will cost you 1.5 point, 3 points. So basically you would be moving 2 hexes off-road. But we're not heading that way, we are going this way. And before you start moving every day, you need to roll for an event, and this is done with a D12. If you're traveling on road, the chance for an event is 11 and 12. And if you're traveling off-road, you need to roll 12 to have an event. I think we will start our travel in this hex. It's part of the graphics, so we can place it there. And then we will roll our event. In this case, nothing would happen. But if something would happen, you would draw a card corresponding to where you're at. So in this case, a road event. Then you would move your hexes and spend 1 ration. At this point, you could also try foraging for food. And this is done by making a foraging roll on the character with the highest foraging skill. In this case, it would be Galithor. He normally has 31, but he's got his fishing gear, so 36. $42. So in this case, we would have to spend one of the rations that we have in our backpacks. If he had succeeded, we wouldn't have to spend a ration at all. After you're done with the foraging, it's time to rest. And each hero will regain 1d6 hit points and possibly some energy while resting during travel. There's a 50% chance of regaining the energy points, but if you have a bedroll, you will regain the energy points automatically. Once you reach your quest site, it's time to set up the dungeon. But we'll cover that in the next video.